So what goes in dry comes out wet, and the longer it stays in there, it gets stronger. A tea bag. Hold on, what did you think it was?
Perfect.
Right, broskies, another top 10 Nike sneaker list to sink your molars into. Of course, we had the Air Max 95 list and an Air Max 91, or not 91, Air Max 90 list. And of course now it is one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT, the Nike Air Max 1 top 10. Now, like the other two lists, these are not in any order just because there's too many bangers in there and there's too many politics, too many billies in the comments to worry about. So just for my sanity and for your peace of mind, let's keep it like that. But with all the waffling aside, we are starting off very strongly. It is one of the newcomers, but it's technically a retro. It is the Air Max 1 Crepe Hemp. Now, we did get this sneaker retroing recently, of course, the OG coming out in 2004. And I know the whole outsole might not be for everyone, and a lot of people are put off by it. But for me, I do like something different every now and again. And because the upper looks as good as it does, I just couldn't say no. And it's such a versatile colorway as well. You can bring this out in the summer and even the autumn. And I wouldn't even risk it for a biscuit, bringing these out in the winter. But because these look so good, you kind of just want to wear them anyway. But for me, one of the best looking Air Max 1s we've ever had. And even though technically this was a GR release, these didn't really sit for that long. So that just goes to show how popular this sneaker is. So that's the Air Max 1 Crepe Hemp. Now, another GR on this list, but one that is a lot of people's grails. It's none other than one of the classic colorways to the Air Max 1. It is the watermelon. Now, the colorway to this shoe is so iconic to the Air Max 1. It's one of those sneakers that you sort of keep your eye on eBay or StockX just to see if you can get a bargain. So even one of those shoes you would buy used because they look this good. And these didn't even come out that long ago. I believe it was 2018. And I heard this saying the other day, I think it was on the Kicks Chronicles podcast. It was Scott from the Doubled Up podcast being interviewed. He said something along the lines of, today's GR is tomorrow's grails. And this line just fits this sneaker so well. And yes, I'm gonna say this a ton, one of the best colorways to the Air Max 1. Honestly, just look at it. This screams summertime all day long. Imagine these with a white pair of socks, some grey shorts and a white tee. Oh my days. Alright, another Air Max list wouldn't be complete without its OG colorway. It is, of course, the Air Max 1 OG Red. Now, even though I am a big fan of the Big Bubble, I just think the original one that we did get, and technically the Big Bubble is the original, but the 87 cut, I just think it's that much cleaner. And I might get some flack for this, but over time, it might change my opinion when it comes to the Big Bubble. It is more comfortable than your regular Air Max 1, so that's a big bonus. But the 87 cut, because of the streamlined design, and I guess it's what I sort of grew up on, I'm always gonna like it that much more. And the OG Red for me is one of the best colorways to the Air Max 1. The OG Blue is cool and all that, but the red has always been a winner. But that is the OG Air Max 1 in red. So what's an Air Max list without an Atmos collaboration? It is, of course, the Air Max 1 Atmos Elephant. Now, there are a few Air Max 1 and Atmos collaborations, but honestly, for me, this is the best one. It's just the blend of colors, the hit of blue as well, honestly, and the elephant print, oh, it just works. But that is, of course, the Air Max 1 Atmos Elephant. Now, next is a colorway that we are being teased with a new retro anytime soon. It is, of course, Air Max 1 Obsidian. Now, if I haven't already made it known, I'm a big fan of navy. So one of the OG colorways to the Air Max 1 was always going to make this list. For me, this sneaker just works so well, especially in the summer. The hits, of course, of that navy alongside the OG sort of style to the grey panels, the white and that hit of red as well. Honestly, in my opinion, it's the perfect balance for a summer shoe. It is the Air Max 1 Obsidian. Now, 2018 was an absolutely banging year for the Air Max 1. Another sneaker from that year. It is none other than the Air Max 1 Curry. Now, this is a silhouette I almost got my hands on. I had a used pair on eBay that didn't even look used, and I was very close to getting them for just above retail. But you know when you just wait and try to bargain a little bit more, the sneaker went and got bought. So I was out of luck. But defo still one on the radar because honestly, this is an absolute banger. And I know it's got that autumn vibe to it, but honestly, you can wear these all year long. And I do love a bit of orange on a sneaker. These did release as a pack though, and for me, out of the three, this was the best one. The green is super nice, and I can't lie, this might have to make part 2, but the red, I just don't think I can pull it off. But that is one of the best looking Air Max 1s, the Air Max 1 Curry. Now I do feel very proud to have this sneaker on this list because it's where I'm from, but I feel like an absolute mug because I don't have them. But it is Air Max 1 London. Now the whole city pack for me is pretty fire, but the London pair just stands out, of course, for the right reasons. Yes, I might be that little bit biased, but honestly, I just love the grey on this shoe. And I absolutely love the Amsterdam pair as well. The sort of colour tones on that is so cool. But I just feel the London pair might just be that more wearable. And of course, it's a little bit more versatile because of it. Now, next is a whole pack in itself, just because it's a recent drop and they absolutely all look fire. It is none other than the Air Max 1 collaboration with Concepts. Now I won't lie to you, the two colorways that stand out mostly for me is the heavy colorway and the mellow. The far out was a bit too far out for my liking, just because I haven't got them, and also, I don't know, there's just something about it. Maybe it's the hit of purple on it, it's still a fire shoe, it's just something I don't think I could pull off. The mellow and the heavy pairs though, honestly, one of the best colorways and packs to the Air Max 1. Paying homage to the Woodstock festival that we did have in the 70s, they hit the nail on the head with the panels. And one of the coolest things about the sneaker, not every sneaker was the same. Not even your own left and right shoe looked the exact same, let alone your pair compared to someone else. And everything down to how cool the box looked and the little panels on the sneaker. So all these fine details that make it look so good. Now I could have probably made a whole top 5 to the Air Max 1 with collaborations with Patta, but this one just stands out. It is the Air Max 1 and Patta Chlorophyll. Now even though I haven't been able to get my hands on this pair, honestly one of the best collabs with Patta and Nike. The OG color block into it and the hit of green as well. It's so simple, but it's absolutely fire. That is of course the Air Max 1 with Patta Chlorophyll. Now another collaboration with Patta and Nike, it had to make this list just because of how they look. It is the Nike and Patta Air Max 1 Monarch. Now we had sort of two waves to the Air Max 1 with Patta. For me, the first wave was a lot more better. The second wave was cool, but the white colorway was probably the best out of it. The first sort of pack though, honestly, the Monarch and the Aqua Noise. And it's a tough pick, but I have to give the edge to the Monarch. Maybe because it was the first one, but maybe because it is orange, and like I've said, I'm a big fan. But whichever one you go for, and whichever one you like out of the whole two packs, this is an absolutely amazing collaboration. And there's always going to be a Billy to have something to say about, because a recent sneaker's come out, you can't really pull it in the top 10. Well, guess what, William? I can, I will. And I have. The change up in that mudguard design and of course the hit of orange just works on another level. So to finish strong, it is the Air Max 1 with Patta in that Monarch colorway. Anyways, broskies, I really hope you enjoyed this top 10 Air Max 1 list, and just know there is going to be a part 2. Just because there's too many to name. And I've seen the comments. I know a lot of people are asking for a top 10 TN list. So it's only right, that one has to be made. But anyways, broskies, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below your top 10 and if you agree with any of these picks or if I'm talking absolute waffle. Don't forget to tune in to the latest episode of the podcast. And if you're feeling generous, you can buy me a coffee with the QR code on the screen, or hit up the super thanks down below. It does help out the channel ever so much. And of course, broskies, whilst you're here on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And till the next episode, take care.